of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Now I never been down with no OPP. I talk about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Hey, hey. Ride him. My mother always say, when you find a donkey, ride it. Who's donkey? What? Come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand, but I can fix this. I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Everybody sells some every day. Giddy up, giddy up. Come on. Oh, donkey. Let's go. Who's the donkey again? They're selling one island. Give away one key. What can be left for you and me? Is this the example? What's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride or go selling too? Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling our whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, yes. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha.
Whoa, girls, we out doing
Remember, this is the same packaging that they had on their website. This is their product. And so this is at petbarn.com, petbarn.com. And so this aragonite is what they use for fish aquariums around the world. This is a 9-kilogram bag. And so that is about 20 pounds, just under 20 pounds. So this is a 9-kilogram bag of aqua natural oolitic aragonite sand. Look at how much money they're getting for one 20-pound bag. $63 for one 20-pound bag. Let's do the math. And so if it's 9 kilograms, there's 1,000 kilograms in a metric ton. And so if you do the math, 1 metric ton that they paid $2 for is on the market for up to $7,000 they're making off of that $2 metric ton. Surely this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Wow, this is mind-blowing. Of course, in other places, we found, like on Amazon.com, it sells for much cheaper. But this is the high end, and this is the end result. So we found this for much less, sometimes half of what we see here. So if it's half of the 7,000, then maybe it's about 3,000 that they can make from that metric ton. If it's a little less than that, maybe it's 2,000. There is no industry in the world that I can think of where that kind of profit can be made. This makes aragonite more valuable than gold, more valuable than diamonds. There's no other product in the world that you can pay $2 a metric ton for and sell for thousands of dollars. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7,000, there is no product where this is doable. And so this is a major industry. And this is why we say our aragonite is worth trillions. Okay, so let me put this in perspective for you. Right now, a barrel of crude oil is selling for about $41.68. Okay, and so there's about 42 gallons in a barrel. So that's roughly about $1.01 per gallon. So let's say $1 per gallon. And so that's the raw material. The street value to the gasoline pump is $2.19 per gallon. So they spend $1 on the crude oil, but the final product is $2.19. That's the street value. With aragonite, their cost of the material is $2 per ton. $2 per metric ton. And the street value is up to $7,000 per metric ton. To be fair, in most cases we found it at cheaper, but that is the ultimate price. In some cases we found it at $35 for the bag, and in some cases we found it at $18 per bag, even cheaper. But in any event, that is thousands of dollars per metric ton. You do the math. But this is not even the big story here. The big story is what is on the packaging. And we've been showing you the packaging all this time. But we really want to show you what's really on this packaging. And so we're going to zoom into this packaging and show you what you have not been seeing on this packaging. It's mind-blowing. Let's do a little close-up. Now, look at this packaging. Isn't that beautiful packaging? Look at the blue and the light blues and the cute little fishy. Look at Nemo. Nemo is playing around with our aragonite. But a closer look will show you what's really going on in the Bahamas. What the government is really hiding and pretending not to know. Wow, look at that. If you read carefully, a closer look will show you the truth. It says genuine marine aragonite from the Bahamas. Wow, they are actually advertising on their packaging, not just on their website, that this is genuine marine aragonite from the Bahamas. This is our aragonite. This is the aragonite that our government doesn't seem to know that it exists. Oh my God, it does exist. But wait, there's more. It says, ethically harvested under lease from the Bahamian government. Wow, they are putting that on the packaging. Can you imagine? Not just is it genuine marine aragonite from the Bahamas, they are also putting right on the front of the packaging that it is ethically harvested under lease from the Bahamian government. Right on the packaging. Wow. And so they are selling our sand and using our country's name to sell our sand. And our government is saying that they're going to have to do research and find out if there's a market out there, if there's any way to make money from this aragonite, because somehow we really don't know that there's a market out there. And we don't know that they're selling our aragonite right now. This is presently on the market, on Amazon, on Chewy.com, on petbarn.com. This stuff is being sold all over the internet and on the ground right now and in pet stores all over America right now as we speak. Our aragonite. But wait, there's more. Turn over to the back of the product and then you'll actually see. And so on the back it says, Bahamian sand is raw, naturally renewable marine aragonite sand. And it is 98% pure calcium carbonate. In other words, we have the good stuff. And so to be honest, our products are all over the internet, all over. Here we find on Amazon.com. If you look carefully, you will see the same product, the Aqua Natural. You can see that it's selling for about $35. So at this price, that means that they're making $3,895, so $3,900 per metric ton. That's what they're making because it's $35 for a 20-pound bag. And so our products are all over the internet. And it's not just that stuff. It's so many different products. Look, there's sand. They're selling play sand. But look at the name of the play sand. Just look at the name. Baja Play Sand by Sandy Key. We've heard that name in the news recently. But we'll come back to that. Baja Play Sand. They're even using our name. Look at it. Oh, isn't that cute? Baja Play Sand. And it is selling for $21.19 per bag. And so that price, that's about $2,450 per metric ton that they're making for this metric ton that they paid $2 for. And so again, look what it says on the back. It says it right there. Bahamian aragonite sand possesses numerous advantages, making it a superior play sand. So again, the Bahamas product is being sold as the superior product. It goes on. Bahamian aragonite is an ideal play sand material that is both safe for your child and environmentally friendly. It is pure aragonite sand, ethically and sustainably harvested from the crystal clear oceans of the Bahamas. This is phenomenal, and it is a phenomenal business, and it is definitely and clearly a business that can make lots and lots of money for the Bahamas and for the Bahamian people. And so what we need
Hi, today is September 17th, 2023, and I am Dr. Veronica McIver, and I have concerns about the PMH Hospital's blood bank. September 16th, 2023, myself and my team of the Coalition of Independence, along with Mr. Lincoln Bay, sponsored a blood drive at the mall at Marathon. The blood bank promised, and we expected the following: 4 beds, but were given 2. 4 medical personnel, but only received 2. Hours, as advertised on radio and flyers, 11:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We were told to end at 3 p.m. due to staff shifts and staff shortages when we arrived on the day off. It was disappointing to turn away some of the blood donors. At the end, staff shortages in a blood bank can lead to a range of problems and challenges that can affect the overall functioning of the blood bank and its ability to adequately stockpile blood products. Frequently, we learn from social media, Bahamians are expressing their disappointments on receiving blood for themselves or their loved ones on a timely basis. While I applaud the blood bank for engaging in community outreach with us, a shortage of staff hinders these efforts, thereby reducing the donor pool and exacerbating shortages. Adequate staffing is crucial to ensure the safe and efficient operation of blood and blood products. We are aware this blood is needed for various surgeries resulting from gunshot and stabbing victims, cancer patients, and other medical illnesses. Lack of blood for Bahamians at the PMH hospital may cause delays in their treatment, or they may even be denied essential medical procedures if blood is not available. This can result in deteriorating health conditions and increase mortality rates or deaths. Further, doctors may have to decide which patients receive blood and which do not, which can lead to moral distress and concerns about fairness. And lastly, when hospitals become involved in political interference, it can have serious implications for healthcare delivery, patient care, and overall functioning of the healthcare system. Not only political interference erodes public trust in the healthcare system, but patients become skeptical about the objectivity and fairness in their medical decisions. To mitigate these problems, it is essential to maintain the independence of healthcare institutions from political pressure and ensure that healthcare decisions are based on sound medical evidence that are in the best interest of patient and public health. Therefore, transparency and accountability are vital in addressing political interference in healthcare. I am Dr. Veronica McIver, the Shadow Minister of Health for the Coalition of Independence. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Of course, it is Sunday, the 17th of September, 2023, in the year of our Lord, and here 2 years in to this new government's administration. Well, they're not new anymore. It's 2 years in. That's almost halfway through, so they're not new anymore. But it's 2 years in. And so, some discussions about that today. When we get started, we have to deal with a few housekeeping matters. And of course, we have to discuss one of the reasons we had that blood drive. And while we're having the blood drive, another Bahamian died for lack of blood in the hospital. We'll get to that in a moment. I just wanted to remind everyone listening to this. That, of course, we have our amazing and wonderful convention is coming up, and that convention is going to be on the 18th of November. That's Saturday, the 18th of November. It's a morning session and an evening session. It's a one-day convention. It's going to be at the Marriott Courtyard on West Bay Street. The Marriott Courtyard on West Bay Street. There's an area, there are convention areas in the back. It used to be Culture Club for the older amongst you who would remember that. So it's a big convention area that used to be called, they used it as Culture Club one time. So it's a big convention hall. So we're going to be there at the Marriott Courtyard. Please join us. We are going to make this official. We came into all of this 5 months in. They called a snap election. Of course, they were terrified of us, and they called a snap election. And within 3 weeks, the election was going to start. So we only had 5 months and 3 weeks to establish what we did. And I want to congratulate everybody who has been a part of this process from the beginning. All of you. You did well. And the Bahamian people responded and made you the official third party in the country, which is the perfect platform to take this country over. It's the perfect platform from which to strike and take back this government from the failing PLP and FNM, who have been failing us for all of these years, actually raping and robbing us and intentionally failing us. We'll get to all of that today as we have these discussions. So thank you to all of you who have made all of this possible for this young party to start. After the election, we decided to form a party. Before election, we were not a party. We were just independent candidates working together. That's what we were. I heard some people say about who our candidates were last time, who our candidates were not last time. We were independent candidates working together. Now we are a party. And so we are moving forward, and we're going to launch officially November 18th, Saturday, November 18th, at the Marriott Courtyard. And so the morning session is going to be from 10 a.m. and the evening session is going to start at 6 p.m. It's going to be spectacular. Make sure you are there. So the evening session is for anyone. You don't have to be a delegate member, nothing. It's for all Bahamians to be there to hear from our amazing candidates, our shadow ministers, etc., about this new Bahamas. And that's what our focus is on. Our focus is not on bashing other parties. Our focus is on how do we get to the new Bahamas. And so you're going to hear from us, just like we did in our rally, about the new Bahamas and where do we go from here and how do we get there. We're going to give the Bahamian people a choice. You continue with what hasn't been working for 50 years, or we move on to something that works. All we want is a country that works. Why are we doing this? Because we live in this country and we want a country that works for us and for all people. Because if I am well-to-do and my neighbor is not, my neighbor's son may end up robbing me. If I have a business but everyone else does not, my business is going to close soon because no one can afford to patronize my business. That's economics 101. Okay? And that is what caused the Great Depression, because the robber barons got so rich that the people could not fund their businesses anymore. And they had to bail out the government, believe it or not. And then they had to do social programs in a capitalist country. And so that's a discussion for another day. But we believe that we can have a better Bahamas, and that's why we're doing this. So make sure you're there for our convention. Also, on October 4th, we are going to our house. We're going to our house to see our employees, we've had enough, man. We cannot just sit back and let the government do what they're doing and throw some parties to pacify some of us. We can't let them fire, so called retire, a senior civil servant who worked her way up the rank, was always known to be an honest civil servant, who did the right thing, who stood up for us in our country, defended our borders by writing internally to the permanent secretary about the actions of a crooked minister. And then to be punished for that is not only against the law, Section 47 of the Freedom of Information Act, it is ethically and morally wrong. And we keep putting up with this with the Progressive Liberal Party. Every time we put them back in, they make us promises and we say, oh, they could be different this time. Oh, they could be different this time. And we always get disappointed. So I guess next time they're going to say, oh, Chester's here. The rest of that was Brave and Perry and them. But Chester's going to be different. So we can be different this time. They are never going to be different because they are part of the same system. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to stand up. We have to stand up because our light bill should never be should increase by 3 times. When the price of oil has been going down, you've been being robbed. I've shown you on the markets, the price of oil went down almost by half. Yet our electricity bills, because of the same oil surcharge, fuel surcharge, has gone up almost 3 times. We're being robbed. While people are still saying, oh, the government doing all they can. No, they're robbing us. They're robbing us. And it's wrong. And so you can sit down and just allow it and accept it. Or you can stand up and do something. Let's go and fix our country. Our country doesn't work. There's so much to talk about, and we're going to get to that today. I just wanted to get to these announcements. I wanted to say, somebody says even gas prices. No, the price of everything has gone through the roof. The grocery prices. I've been in the grocery store this morning and I see the desperation on some people's faces. I see the anxiety on their face as the cashier is entering those stuff and they're watching the price go up and up and up. I watch some people look in their wallet and count their money again as the price is going up. 4 items, $100. 5 items, $100. A full trolley used to be $100. But that's a discussion for another time. I really want to get into this. Before we go any further, I just want to thank. I want to thank the Men's Association for showing up and showing out. Our Men's Association had a phenomenal showing. Yes, this is that. Our Men's Association showed out. We called for the men to come out, and that's what they did. And we had a packed house. So many men showed up that it was impressive. It was mind-blowing. Men are ready to stand up. So there are a lot of people saying that the men are afraid, the men won't stand up. They're saying that the coalition needs more men. The coalition has many men. Our Men's Association in Nassau, that's just an association. That's not all the men who support us now. All of our members. That's just the ones who decide to be in the Men's Association. Is almost 170 men. So about 170 men in our Men's Association. In Grand Bahama, our Men's Association is just over 100 men in Grand Bahama alone. And so men are standing up and men are doing what they have to do. But I just want to thank you men for showing up. The Bahamian public is going to see more and more from them over the coming years, and they're going to show you how men are supposed to do this. It's a network of men. There were men in there who are skilled men. There were men in there who are educated, academic men. There were master's degrees in there. There are former principals in there. Prominent educators were in that room. Um, you name it, they were in that room. CPAs, attorneys, business people, millionaires were in that room. And I want to thank you for standing up. The pastors in that room, I stopped counting when we reached the six ordained minister in that room. So there are many men standing up. Ladies and gentlemen, the evolution has begun. The evolution in the mindset of Bahamians has begun. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right. So I just want to say thank you to all the men that showed up, and that takes us back to the address by our shadow minister of health. And I was kind of starting to get to this because, you know, as we talked about this while we had the blood drive, there are persons who got teary-eyed. There are persons who got choked up. And this is a serious conversation I'm about to have with you. Since this government has gotten into power, and I won't go to the previous government because it happened then too, but this government said they had the solutions, and we fired the other government, so I don't want to hear about anything that they did or didn't do. Since this government has come to power, we've had a serious problem with our blood bank. We've been running out of blood and plasma and a lot of medications in the hospital. Sometimes nurses have told me they don't have penicillin. They don't have regular stuff. But I just want to say that we decided to have a blood drive because there was an emotional plea. There was an emotional plea when a young lady died in the hospital recently. She had put out a video. Her name is Kanika. She had put out a video pleading she needed blood. She didn't want to die. That's a human being. That's like me or you. Think about yourself sitting in that hospital. Anything could happen to you at any time. And she was sitting in that hospital and she decided to go live like, I don't want to die. I just want blood. It was an emotional, heart-wrenching plea. And despite her best efforts, she died. Another died soon after. There was pleas by her family members to change things, to investigate what happened. But nonetheless, she died. When that happened, I came on the same live broadcast. And I said to all of you, today it's her. But someone listening under the sound of my voice will be a victim of those same circumstances if we don't up and fight for change. If we don't do something. I said it right here on this show that there will be more victims and maybe someone listening to the sound of my voice. Sadly, one of our ardent supporters, one of our strong supporters who went on every march and protest with us, while we were doing our blood drive for the same cause, one of our supporters died for lack of blood. Her name is Miss Linda Smith. First of all, I want to give deep condolences to her family and friends. No Bahamian should have to die because they're getting surgery and they need blood. No one. Ms. Linda Smith, we're going to fight on for you. And we will have a New Bahamas. And in the New Bahamas, not one Bahamian will die for lack of resources at the hospital. Not one. That is my plea. That is my promise. That is my mission. Thank you for your fight, New Bahamas. You didn't make it in with us, but you will watch us make it in from the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't stand up to this incompetence that has been going on for so long, someone, again, under the sound of my voice, is going to be a victim. Something simple as blood? No. October 4th, come stand with me, please. Let's stand up and tell them to fix our country. Let's stand up and demand that they fix our country. Someone listening to me or your family member is going to have to get surgery, going to have to get blood. Let's do something. Our blood drive was a smashing success. Staff who were very understaffed said that it was one of the bigger blood drives. So I want to thank all of you sacrificed and came out there and made it happen. A lot of people were turned away because we had to close an hour early because they were short-staffed. Thank you to our Shadow Minister of Health, Dr. Veronica McIver, for coming up with that idea. We have to make this a regular thing. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you who came to that blood drive. It was phenomenal. There were a lot of people that just were in the mall who stopped by and decided that they just wanted to do this. They wanted to do something, man. When they saw it, they were like, let's save a life. They wanted to just save a life. I honor that. I respect that. And so many persons showed up. We appreciate that. Your leaders in your own right.
Greatly doing this. Coalition independent, great doing the PLP government, definitely going to follow. I sort of go and give them a chance because they struggle to give them a chance. The things are happening inside the Bahamas. Serious man, but brave them and then brave them and people are doing the same thing over the people. They really appreciate a new party, a new party.
So that fella's story was a powerful story. He basically came and said that he and his wife is homeless. They've been homeless. But seeing what we were doing, they didn't want to think about themselves right then. They wanted to think about that one life or two lives that they could save with their pint of blood. And they stopped what they were doing and they decided to see if they could help someone else. That's what they did. That's the kind of attitude that's going to save this nation and take us to exactly where we need to be as a country. So thank you to all of you who sacrificed yourselves and gave of yourselves. Let's make this regular, man. Let's make this regular. Let's make this a regular occurrence. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. All right. So thank you all for your support and your gracious sacrifice. All right. So moving forward in New Bahamas, we're gonna have blood banks the way they do in other countries, where you pay people for their blood, to make sure that we have a budget to make sure that we never run out of blood. We can't run out of blood, and so there will be an incentive to make sure that people have a reason to come. And they can come regularly and give their blood, so that lives can be saved, so that we don't ever run out. I think it makes sense because people have to pay the hospital for blood. All right. Now they put it in the form of some fees and that kind of stuff to say, oh, they had to extract it and whatever. But you're still paying for the blood. And so, if the hospital can benefit from it, like Doctors Hospital, etc., then the person giving the blood should benefit. It's business. All right. So just wanted to say that. All right. So we just need some vision. So thank you all for that. We're going to continue doing that. And thank you, Dr. Veronica McIver. We're looking forward to more initiatives just like that from you. The hospital is falling apart. The healthcare doesn't make any sense in this country. The hospital is literally falling apart. There's no construction going on there right now. It is decrepit right now. And nurses are leaving daily. They're losing nurses. Because nurses are going to where they can be treated better. I can tell you that the Coalition of Independence, a government run by the Coalition of Independence, will make sure that our nurses are paid competitively in the United States and Canada. Why? Because it's worth it and we need it. We can see that we're now dying because there's a shortage of nurses. And so doesn't that have a value? It has a value to you, but not to the politicians who have to make the decisions whether to pay the nurses or not. Because to them, they could jump on a plane and go get the nurses. They could go to the United States and get their health care, where they will run into Bahamian nurses who have left the country to get better pay and better treatment. Isn't it ironic? But the politicians don't care about you because they don't have to go to those hospitals. But you keep voting for them. That's why you have the same hospital all these years. 50 years and we've never built another hospital. But they celebrate. And so nurses, hold on. And we're going to bring our nurses from around the world back to this Bahamas because we're going to have medical tourism. We're going to have medical tourism. We're going to have universal health care for all Bahamians, where everyone will get their own medical professional who monitors them, mostly nurses, who monitors them and make sure that their health is okay. I went in male medical too because I went to visit Maria Daxon, female medical too, to visit Maria Daxon. She's still in hospital, and she's in stable condition. She has bad asthma, chronic asthma that she got working in a government building that had mold and asbestos. That's how she got asthma as an adult, working for government in a government building that had mold, a old building. And now it's affecting her health for the rest of her life, as it is with many of you. We need change. I went to visit and I saw, a lot of elderly people are in there. We want to make your latter years your better years. by monitoring your health from the beginning to make sure you don't have to go to there, by going and farming organic food in the Bahamas, so you're not eating nonsense. I bought some uh, chicken quarters this morning. Gave it to, and they had to throw the quarters away because the quarters were just garbage. It wasn't good. We're eating meat that is 7, 8 years old, etc. We're eating unhealthy food. If we export only food, and our health is going down. But Dr. Veronica MacGyver is going to be on a mission to change that from her perspective, and our agriculture department is going to change that. And we're going to provide organic food to us and to the world. It is going to happen. All right. So there's a lot we have to talk about in the future about those things. But to our nurses, you all just hold on. Maria bragged about the good treatment that she received, the amazing treatment that she received from the clinic in South Beach all the way to the hospital, and she did. I mean, everyone was so professional. A lot of Filipino male nurses are now in charge in a lot of these in the hospital, and they are very professional and kind. They're good people. Um, but it's time to shift. It's time to go to another level. All right. So I just wanted to say those things before we move on to some other things we have to talk about. All right. And so while we're talking about the proper pay for nurses, um, I'm also going to talk about our plans for Freeport. I got Freeport again. I just wanted to, Freeport is the key to New Bahamas. We have to keep talking about that. We're going to talk about the fake polls by the FNM and PLP in a minute. And we're going to talk about some homes in Abaco that's supposed to be built for the Bahian people, but they're sitting there rotting. New homes, sitting rotting. I'm also going to talk about Long Island in a minute. All right. But talking about the nurses. All right. So now we're going to talk about the police and their this new program that they put forward, for police officers. Um, Basically, in this program, I won't put it up on the screen and show it to you, but basically in this program, well, first, Wayne Monroe said it wasn't true, it was fake news, but the police, both Skippings and the commissioner, said, yeah, it is true. So, of course, Wayne Monroe's lost. And you guys keep pulling for these fellas saying, that, oh, he's so qualified. And they keep putting this so-called qualified team in front of you. But when they get in there, it seems like something happens. Like something happens. We just need change, y'all. Stop falling for them. Oh, you gotta have good quality candidates. Isn't Wayne Monroe a good quality candidate? What's the good quality that you've gotten in the Ministry of National Security? Please tell me. Which area of Ministry of National Security works like it's supposed to? We have Defense Force boats that are broken down and not working. Defense Force hasn't been able to catch one Haitian sloop in recent times on the ocean. I'm not blaming the Defense Force officers. We love them, and we're going to look out for them and fight for them. I'm talking about the system that they're in that is not functioning properly for them. Again, the prison, we saw those prison officers having to strike early in this administration, and we see the conditions that they're in. But all they could do is talk about building this new $90 million prison to benefit our political cronies. All right. Immigration has been, it's not necessarily, and it's still national security. It's been an abject failure. What? Tell me. But in any event, Wayne Monroe is lost, and that's when you all vote for qualified people. In any event, the Commissioner of Police says that they rewarding police officers. But the thing that disturbs me with that, I'm a former police. The thing that disturbs me with that is simple. If you say that persons are going to be rewarded if they charge, not just an arrest, but an arrest and charging the person, do you know what's going to happen? More and more persons are going to be charged willy-nilly. It's possible. You just open the floodgates for that. And there are good officers who won't do that, but there may be some that now feel like, oh, I can benefit by just charging you. Don't matter if you're guilty or not. I am charging you. And yeah, you'll go to court and win, but they don't have a deduction for if you lose the case. And the case may take so long, it doesn't matter anyway. But there's no deduction if you lose the case. It's just if you charge someone. The problem is how many wrong persons have been charged. But you just rewarded someone for just charging someone. And so now they go to court, and the police feels like, oh well, if we lose the case, yeah, you can't do nothing to me, you can't sue me. But I just got rewarded, cash or promotion or recommendation. That's a problem. That's a serious problem. That now puts in question every single case by the police. It means that they had a financial incentive to charge persons whether they felt that they were guilty or not. That puts the integrity of the police force in jeopardy. That is a serious problem. Okay? Now, let me tell you what you should do for the police. You say, the Commissioner of Police responded by saying that even a dog, see, even this was making arrests wins cops prizes. So arrest and charging wins prizes for cops. All right, and the Commissioner of Police said even a dog is rewarded for good work, and I think that's how they see the police officers. And why I say that is as simple as this: if you want to reward the police, simply pay them what they deserve to be paid. Reward them with a sensible pay, the same way you should reward the nurses. Reward them with sensible pay. Simple. Promote them when they do good. How about that? But I think that's tax. So let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to pay the officers what they deserve. They're going to get all of their benefits and not have their benefits taken away. So they took away your benefits for insurance for all of you new police officers. And now there's some point system where they're going to treat you like dogs who get a little treat, a Scooby snack, if you make an arrest. This isn't adding up. All right? We need an actual plan to fight crime. All right? So I just wanted to plug that in there. And next, I want to move on quickly to these fake polls that the government have been putting out and the opposition. And then I'm going to open the phone line in 5 minutes. These fake polls, the PLP put out fake poll using Anthony Ferguson's The Guardian. Remember, Anthony Ferguson has been made an ambassador. He's traveling around with Grave Davis. And, they're forming a company to use them to form a company to take away our carbon credits so that they can benefit from the billions and Bahamians can get nothing. And so, of course, with the convention being called for the PLP and with their deep unpopularity in recent times, they prorogued the House and they're trying to do a bunch of things in the community and have car raffles, and they're doing all kinds of things right now. Oh, free breakfast, all these same old weapons they're doing to distract the people. But I don't think it's going to work. It's not. And so we have to stay focused to the wilds of the devil. So what they're doing now is they're putting out these fake polls. All right, so the PLP put out this fake poll with The Guardian. Nothing you see in The Guardian relating to politics is legitimate for the remainder of this administration. They are trying to promote Philip Grave Davis that and they're going to use polls to do so. With all this stuff happening in this country, why a poll is the main headline story is shocking to me. They gave him a 60% approval rating, saying that they did a poll with what, 687 people or 587 people. It's not credible. Do not trust any poll where you didn't see the poll, but everyone sees the results. That is the sure sign of a corrupt, crooked poll. Because if they could share the results, they could have shared the poll and got your voting. So if you see any poll that says the results are in and it's shared widely, but you never saw the poll, it's because they didn't want you to see the poll. And so that takes us to the next side of the coin, the Free National Movement. In their desperation, because they are extremely unpopular right now, they decided to do a poll after the FNM did their fake poll. They decided to do a fake poll. That's out of the pairs. And their troll decided to do a poll and put the UB on it. University of Bahamas has already responded, saying not them. When I looked at the poll, I saw the typos, etc. on the poll. I saw typos. And people still were sharing and saying, look at this poll. And so the purpose of that poll, if you looked at it carefully, was to promote Michael Pintard. Because they said they did a poll. That all the rest of that didn't matter. So first they wanted to destroy the government by putting poll ratings that made the government look bad. Right? I'm just being real. And then they got to the part where, what is your view of Philip Brave Davis? And it was a negative view, majority. Then it was what if Michael Pintard? 70% of people. Michael Pintard is doing an amazing job, and we have a positive outlook of Michael Pintard. And there was a rave review of Michael Pintard, and just seeing that, you should have known that that's a fake poll. Any poll where they're just giving you results, remember, anyone could just give you any results. I can listen while we're on this live. I can literally go do some pie charts and put any results on that and share that. Do not believe any poll where you cannot see the results in real time. Politicians know that people are like sheep. They just follow. They want to follow who they think is going to win. So they use polls to influence your mind. The polls in the Bahamas cannot be trusted before election and after election. You cannot trust them. Okay? Unless it's real-time polling. Understand? So real-time polling and only real-time polling will be accredited moving forward from now to the next general election. Okay? Real-time polling. Everyone focus? So don't send me no poll where they say, oh, the results are in. Look at these poll results. There's no one who said they did the poll, nothing. But of course, the PLP is going to use Pat Raming's son, Imwale Raming, to do polls, like how they use, what they call, what was it, Island Key, or what did they call the poll before election? There was a PLP poll set that was before election. Notice you don't even see them no more. Election done. Remember there was a poll company that was, I mean, they were all over the place. They were on the news, some of the company, etc., etc. You know, because mission was accomplished. All right. So don't fall for any polls. All right, that you see moving forward. All right. So I just wanted to get that out there because a lot of people send these stuff to me and they're confused. They don't know what to think. Well, this is what to think. If you don't see the result, like you can't go on that poll and vote, and you saw 10 votes for PLP and you voted PLP for the PLP, and then you saw 11 votes right there in real time, any other poll is garbage. Do not support it. Yes, it happens in other countries, but in other countries, their polling is credible, and they will jail for fraud polls that put false if they catch them. Here, it'll never happen. All right, so focus, 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 focus. Don't fall for the old tricks. All right. So I guess they used that one too early, and now Bahamians are going to be hip to not real time. All right. If call in and you could listen right there and you can hear. Okay. Anything else? Let's don't.
And I start with a document released by Tenneco. It's a Tenneco 1986 internal report. It states that the oil projections in the Bahamas are anywhere from 4 billion to 17 billion barrels. In 1986, Lyndon Pindon gave Tenneco authorization to drill 7 exploratory wells. The names of those wells are Manta Base, Sand Shark, Bluefin, Lionfish, Blue Marlin, Grouper, and Hammerhead. Now, findings. Manta Bay estimate 1.447 billion barrels.
So, first question most people ask is, why are you in the Bahamas? And there's some sort of presumption that it's about palm trees and beaches and cocktails, but actually we're in the Bahamas because it's a very, very, very prolific oil-producing region. There were, as I'll get into in a few minutes, there are historical wells. It's in a very prolific oil-producing region. There's been a 3D seismic campaign. And
Lionfish, estimate 0.94 billion barrels. Grouper, estimate 6.492 billion barrels. Hammerhead, estimate 1 billion .007 billion barrels. Total amount of barrels estimated 17.063 billion barrels. Bahamas 3D seismic test and what was discovered. 1. 3 traps identified as fulls of where oil has accumulated. 2. These traps rival those of the Middle East in size. 3. The Bahamas' oil potential is as big as those of the Middle East. What has happened with the natural resources of the Bahamas, especially oil? The oil resources of the Bahamas, Bahamians, are worth tens of trillions of dollars.
We're at the point where we have to drill a well, and we have to get going on the drilling of that well by April 2017.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to it. Just got, I think, 2 more things, and then we're going to open the phone lines for all of you. The pictures that you're seeing, where are they? Did they load the pictures? Did they load the pictures? Nope. Okay. They didn't load. All right. I'm going to skip to Long Island, and we'll get back to the other one. Long Island has, like other family islands, have a lot of issues. It's 50 years. It's 2 years into this administration, and we still see no real solutions. I'm sorry, but let me show you something. Do you know this is? Do you know what this is? This is an ambulance that was donated to the island of Long Island. The ambulance is sitting in the bush, rotting. Zambia donated here it is. Donated to the people of Long Island. It was literally thrown in the bush. Literally thrown in the bush. Literally thrown in the bush. Jesus. They got all of it. It was donated. Proud of this great accomplishment by their party of again doing nothing and taking the good donation and throwing it away. This is Long Island, y'all. Next, I also want to go to Abaco. And I'm showing this because this is happening all over the Family Islands. If we've been traveling the Family Islands recently, we see the neglect and the decay in all of our Family Islands. The neglect and decay. Try and load some pictures for you all from Abaco. Now, this one, more sick, demented, and decrepit. This one make you angry? I don't know what will. You don't even deserve to be in this country. In Abaco, some homes were built for the Bahamian people. In Abaco, all right? Some homes were built for the Bahamian people. Trying to pull them up. Work on me. Okay. Coming up right now. These homes right here. Some pictures of them. Right there in the corner. Look at how nice those homes are. Parking, windows, etc. Moving forward, I think they should build these kinds of homes with tin roofs because they don't get damaged as easily in hurricanes instead of the wooden roofs. With this hospital, these houses were built and then they're just sitting there. Now we're told that the contractor is owed money by the government and he just decided to lock them up and leave them right there. The government has decided that, this was free money, donated money, etc. Anyway, we don't care. Let the Abaco people suffer, they say. That's it. If anyone in Abaco votes for the PLP or FNM after all they've been through, I will be shocked. If they get one vote would be shocking. Look at these good houses just sitting there when there are people in need of housing in Abaco and around that. How they were putting themselves, I think they've built 40 homes so far, this administration, right? And they're praising that, but we built homes. Jesus. You did what? They pat themselves on the shoulder. All right, so that's it. That's Abaco. This is the area where it was supposed to be done. And also, this is the area, but also you can see the Abaco Community Center and shelter, not done. 2 years in. Still not done. Just a sign and the shovel in the ground, as they always do. There it is. Look at all the homes. Look at all those beautiful homes. Look at that. Jesus. I don't know how much more of this we could take. Anyway, I'm going to open the phone lines now as I continue because I want to talk about some solutions, and I want to open the phone lines to answer any of your questions that you may have. I want to talk about Freeport for a minute and what is possible there, but questions that you may have. So, those homes for, they were built for the people of Abaco. Remember, hundreds of donations, actually billions of dollars in donations came to the Bahamas, and so homes were built. The government built some homes, but they never gave it to you. Donations in lumber and building supplies were also given, but they were never given to you. There was even money, cash money that was given for each person to help them build, and they were not giving it to Abaco people. The Abaco people called me. I came to Abaco, exposed it, and then we started doing it. But now they started and then stopped, and people aren't getting it. The Davis administration came in, and a lot of those items that were donated and just for you, given to you, to be given to you, the government sold it. So the PLP do. After criticizing the government, and you remember I exposed the domes situation where the domes were being hidden in the yard. Hidden. And we exposed it. All right? So the phone line is open. There's two numbers. Again, you can call regular line or WhatsApp at 803-5995. That's one line. And you can also call 821-2843. So the numbers are on the screen. Call in. I know I've been talking for a long time, but yes, you can call in and let me know how you feel about all these things we've talked about, the blood bank, the people dying, a recent woman dying in the hospital. And there was another man who went on social media talking about the blood situation in the hospital on the weekend. Let's talk. Let me hear what you have to say. If you have questions about anything that we've been proposing, this is your chance. Any family members that you were talking to and there's questions you couldn't answer, call and ask a question now, or let your family hear, let them call in. This is your chance. We present ourselves as Bahamian people every single week so that exactly this can be done. All right? And so this is your chance to make sure. Okay, the phone was on silent. I'm sorry. Let's go. Phone lines are open. 803-5995 is the number. You're live.
Hello, Mr. President Dan. How you doing?
I'm awesome, man. How you doing?
All right, awesome. I have a question that I want to hang up the response.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you were talking about going solar the other day in Nassau.
Yeah.
There are some islands like Grandmama with the Grandmama Power Authority, Grandmama Power Company, and like in Spanish Wells with the St. George Power Company. If this company is going to be able to switch over to solar.
Nassau, we tried. In Andres, right from the day, where North Andres needed to go solar, they needed just over 1 megawatt, just 1 megawatt of solar, of electricity at the time. And I gave the example of how they put 1 megawatt of solar in the sports center yard in Nassau, and the cost, because they built them, each of them up so that you could park underneath them, so they're built with big structures. That cost $4 million. So that means if you do a proper solar park where you're not using those big structures, we just have it lined off as normal, you could probably do it for almost half that cost. And so if $3 to $4 million can give Andres solar where we don't have to pay for the fuel costs, we don't have to spend all that money on all the costs that they have, and you can get free electricity, why wouldn't you do that? They just spent more than that on a party for Brave Davis in Miami. But you see, we are so backwards, and they kept us so backwards that we will accept, let's just party when we could get free electricity for Eleuthera, for the islands. We can afford it. The $60 million they spent to buy that hotel in Grand Bahama could bring solar to every single one of the family islands, plus change. could give them free solar and water.
Wow. So, Mr. Man, let me say something before I hang up. You know what's going on in this country? You like what you call it, a genius compared to some of these guys. You know what I mean? Like the stuff what you saying, it ain't different, but because you saying it, you sound like a genius compared because they ain't saying nothing. Nothing that is making sense. Nothing. Let's put a challenger there. Call in and see what sense they make in the last year or two.
Well, that's exactly any PLP true one. I would tag them to call in and tell us one thing that the done to empower Bahamians in the last 2 years. Anything. Yeah. It's just one. I just need to hear one thing. Any one thing. And
let's listen for that.
All right. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, I was looking, right, talking about this, Earth, right? And I went down on a lot of these private keys, and I noticed that they have a lot of solar panels on these private keys.
Yes.
With homes and so forth. For example, you got North Key in Bimini, you got Chubb Key in the Berry Islands, you got Rose Island right there off Paradise Island. It's a lot of solar panels. And I said, if these keys could have it, I'm not against them having it, I'm not against these private keys having it. But if these private keys could have it, why can't the government put these on many of the inhabited islands in the Bahamas? Some of these islands got nothing but land to put solar panels on, man.
Yeah.
And yet they would not do it. Even right here in the Bahamas, we could do it. In Nassau. But I look at this, the lack of vision. So what makes them people special that they can have solar panels?
It is not lack of vision. I have to pause you there. It is not lack of vision. It is corruption. All right? They know what can be done with solar. All of these politicians know it. It isn't that they don't have vision. They know we should have solar on Andros and the family islands and in Nassau. They know we have all this sun at the perfect angle. We're positioned at the perfect angle to get the sun in the perfect way. All right? And they know that. But of course, they're not doing it because they're making money shipping the oil to the family islands. All right? That's big money. They're also now providing generation with these old generators. That's big money. They are making money selling the oil to us. That's why the fuel surges so much. They're raping us. Now they're telling you, it's going to go down in December. Of course, it's that the usage is going to go down in December. Usage always goes down in December. But they put that out there, and that satisfied some people. Like, it's gonna go down a little bit in December. People use less of the air condition when December hits. Exactly. It normally goes down.
But what I was going to say, right? And I feel it shames me to say it, but it's like our grandparents and our parents voted in a curse in 1967 when we put a black majority rule government over us. Because I say that because it's the PLP and the FNM who's the one who keep on putting us in this mess.
Yeah.
For over 50 years now. And I've heard some old people say that, I've heard some old people live long say, boy, if they know what I've heard it, I've heard old people say that if we know what we was getting into when we went to majority rule and independence. And I see what my grandmother died at 100 and some years old, and I see what my mother used to say they loved it better than the British. I understand that Lyndon did some development, and he puts in some institutions and everything. But we could have been much further as a country and a nation. Look at us, the Irish struggle. The Irish behemoth, I thought growing up that this is just the way black behemoths supposed to live. I only saw the white behemoths, them doing good.
Wow.
But I grew up to understand that, hey, and as in 2 years, what I've learned in being an activist, I've learned so much and come to realize so much. We've been getting swing by the PLP and FNM and blind shined it.
Yeah. I gotta take some other calls, man. Thank you for your call. Good afternoon, you're live.
Happy Sunday.
Same to you, man.
Yeah. Just 100%. I agree with you. 110%. I don't know what kind of school these leaders, the commissioner of police, and some of our politicians are supposed to. I don't know what kind of food is going with the dumb things, what they be saying. If they want to incentivize the police, right? Because first of all, they're being paid to do a job. That is their job. But if the commissioner feels that they're going up over and beyond, like you say, President Bean, promote them, give them a promotion, give them, you know what I mean? Or something like that. Or they can do the Americans do. If you can't focus on locking people up, that ain't gonna work. That can cause problems. What they can't do though, they get a drug bust or cash or weapons or something they buy. Take the total street value of that and you incentivize the group of officers by giving them a 5 or 6% out of the total value of what the cash and drugs and guns is.
Yeah.
And that will incentivize them to those things rather than trying to sell them back to the public.
Now I know at one point the officers of state used to be incentivized by they would get a percentage of any drug bust or etc. And that's why you saw some police officers in Miami, etc., doing very well, driving good cars. But see, you're incentivizing them based on an actual result. They drugs. They didn't just have someone who okay, they may have done this or they may not have done this, but hey, if I charge him, I'm going to get more points. So let me just charge him. It don't matter.
Yeah.
And so that's a problem.
Let me make this quick too. Now, on the ground, it's hard on the ground. I would like for you to respond to this. I understand the plane. I need you to, if you know anything about that, I hear the plane land to the tune of $800 million. Now, I can hang up and listen to your response.
Now, you got to tell me what you mean. I can't just take loose stuff and comment on it. You got to tell me what you mean by the plane line.
But Philip Brave gave us them repeated the storm fund where each in the name would have been given some money.
Yes.
He take that back and he put the police into his account, the office of the Prime Minister, in some new national wealth fund. Now I understand that the members of Parliament are supposed to be getting a cut out of this thing, but they can't open their mouth because of the bill that they passed. They can't talk, right? It's supposed to come and be shared, this $800 million by the end of the year for the members of the Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
But now I understand from good sources that the first payment of $800 million for the carbon credits has landed this month. So I don't know if you heard anything, because it's all over the place on the ground out there.
Yeah, so thank you for your call. You can listen in.
Yeah, man.
803-5995 or 821-2843. Yes, there has been a plot by the Progressive Labour Party and the Free National Movement, who was working with them in order to keep this money from the carbon credits in their hands. The PLP and FNM have done everything together, whether it was Abaco homes and initial building of homes all over this country and raping and robbing Bahamians doing so. Work together. Focal, whether oil money is and everything else, they are working together. They are partners. Sun Oil, Sunshine Insurance. So a lot of companies, they're actually working together on this stuff, and it will continue. We are going solar because we have already signed agreements towards that. But what they're going to do is give it to an FNM PLP company so that they provide the solar power, and they're going to charge us for it. So they're going to continue to make this money, even though we're not buying the oil anymore. They provided the solar, so that's what the plan is. Everything I tell you comes to pass. So that's what they want to do. All right. And so if they want to trick you, they'll bring in a foreign company to provide it, make some deal with them outside of the country, with companies they own outside of the company. That's what they do sometimes. But the PLP and FNM were working together. When they repealed the sovereign wealth fund, the FNM was right there with them. They agreed. They voted for it, allowed it, didn't say a word. All right. When they put this new national investment fund thing in place, the FNM said nothing about it. Nothing. They allowed it to go on. All right. Carbon credits bill, they allowed it to go on. They said nothing about what has been being exposed in recent times, especially on Steve McKinney's show, about the fact that the Prime Minister was putting everything in his name, meaning the Prime Minister's name. that he would have the final say on everything. He determines who does it, and he determines what happens. And the only person he has to consult with is the Minister of Finance, which is him. So it's 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 a bipolar bill. And so they are working together to do this. All right. And that's why you see the FNM isn't saying anything about your sovereign wealth fund, your natural resources, or your carbon credits. All right. And so, yes, they've been working hard, and Anthony Ferguson has been heading this up. All right. And Anthony Ferguson has been the one heading this up, and they're working hard to form the company. And there's actually a foreign company they're going to be working with. And so the foreign company is going to get the lion's share of all of this. They've invested about $60 million, and the government is going to get the poodle share. And that poodle share is going to be cut up, divided, and spread between FNM and PLP interests. All right, that has already been agreed, and it is going to happen. And it is decrepit, and only in the Bahamas could something like this happen. Only in the Bahamas. All right, we have to stand up and fight. I'm going out on October 4th at 9:30 a.m. I think you should be there to join me. All right, or maybe you just like the way things are. $156 billion is at stake. $156 billion. That's just the blue carbon credits per year. The fact that payments have not risen up yet concerns me. It means that we like going on the lines begging for a backpack. We like going to the MP begging for a $50 food stamp. Those days don't have to continue. You can stand up and fight. You can support the COI to bring that to an end. You can vote for the COI because that's the only way you're going to benefit from your natural resources and your carbon credits. It is the only way. Brave has already told you ain't getting none. But the FNM and the PLP are going to come back to you, watch it in the coming weeks, and they're going to start talking about your natural resources and your carbon credits. Now, they're going to try to get someone else, because they've already talked to one gentleman who talks about carbon credits a lot, to try to make him an offer. That's what FNM did, in order to get him to now be the spokesman for this, so people stop listening to me on it, and to convince you that we should go with the FNM because, see, we got this guy on board, go with the FNM and we'll give you the carbon credits, which is, of course, going to be another Vaughn Miller move, to say, see, we're going to give you a Ministry of National Security, not National Security, of Natural Resources, and we have Vaughn Miller, and you know he's been fighting for it, so trust us, vote for PLP, don't listen to Lincoln, he's selling dreams. And that's what they did, and you got to swing again. And so we need to do something. We have to stop them. They can't say to themselves dreams anymore, because now they are trying to steal your dreams. They're trying to steal the dreams of your children and your children's children. Stand with me. Stand with me. I want you to see something. Watch this. This is interesting. The PLP put out some video about their accomplishments in 2 years. Listen, this is a comedy show. So I'm going to play it first, and then I'm going to go back and stop it as it's playing so you can see it good. All right? But this is the new PLP comic relief. You can't see it. Wait, hold on. We'll do that again. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, that nonsense that you're seeing here is the PLP touting their accomplishments. So I'm gonna go through this because you probably couldn't see it good. Let me go through this again for you. Here, in 2 years, free testing. All right. Okay, let's take this call and I'll come back to the video. Good afternoon. You are live. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I am listening to you, and I just can't still. I just can't sit still because if this was any other country in the world, people were not going to be sitting down on this. I wanted to be downtown when they talk, but they write this law that it going back to the prime minister and he can receive the carbon credit money. They are thieves.
Yeah.
The Bahamian people should have been down there long time. Now the money landed. I want mine. Buddy, if this was any place else, they couldn't have come downtown to Parliament.
Yeah.
They couldn't have go in their homes. It wouldn't have happened. But I don't know. I just don't know what else to awake these people. What else for them to understand? It belongs to us.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It belongs to us, Lincoln. And every time you make the clarion call, everybody I know is be coming with me.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be there on October 4th. And guess what? They get all these new trucks and these new recruits and police officers and different things to try rule us. But let me tell you something. If we don't fight, we ain't gonna get nothing.
Of course.
So I don't care no more. I don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care what they're doing to us. They don't care how they treating us. And the gentleman was talking about solar on the islands. You think they worrying about putting any solar when they could sell the island and make the money and share it up for themselves? They ain't care about you. Don't mind them giggling like hyenas in your face. They don't mean you no good. Let me tell you something. I am tired, sick and tired. I don't know if it's a better word you could say. Sick and tired of the PLP and the FNM. They are not doing anything to benefit the Bahamian people. They are making it harder and worse for us. Did you get a light bill this month or last month? Did you get it, Bahamas? And everybody walked away quiet. Well, I was raising hell while I was in there. I tell them, hell no. I said, can't be this way.
Wow. Well, I got an image on the screen right now that someone put out their light bill. The light bill went from last year. It went from $289 to $219. The next month it was $325, then $366, then $323, then $442, $544, $716, $824, and $735 this month.
Mine was similar.
From
but not
two
as high
something to over $800.
Mine was bordering to $800. It was $120. Then it gone up like to $200-$300. Then when I gone, it was $5. Then when I look, it was $790. I say, oh my God, they killing us slowly.
That's over. That's almost 3 times
the amount.
Yeah.
And then they say, Abaco can do something about it. Abaco wait for the government. They ain't gonna do nothing. Nothing. When Bahamians can get it.
Yeah.
They're making it bad for us. They get these trucks to keep you all in line, and for this pandemic, what they planning to bring.
Yeah.
But y'all like a stick to the bush. I don't want nothing they got to give me. I don't want no job. I don't want no nothing. You're going to have to arrest me, put me in jail. I ain't care under the jail. I don't care. I ain't taking no job. So they better don't come to my door.
Yeah.
This
Thanks for your call.
Monday making it so hard.
Thanks for your call. I got to run.
Yes, sir. Right. Enjoy the
So yeah, here's them. They said this their thing. Free testing en masse. I don't even understand why that's a big thing. The testing wasn't accepted by your job, by your workplace. So if you worked at Atlantis, Bama, or wherever, they didn't accept the testing. Why would the government allow them to not accept testing? So if you got testing from the government, free testing, your workplace didn't accept it. Make that make sense to me. The government could have then quickly gone to put a law that you must accept it. But no, hey. So it was ridiculous. It was just a show. What else is there? They want credit for that. So they raised minimum wage. No slapping up. They trying to make this cute. They said they raised minimum wage. They raised minimum wage by $50. Is what they're saying. They raised minimum wage because they wanted to collect more in NIB. That wasn't to benefit you. They raised minimum wage and then increased taxes by putting tax on bread basket items, medicine, etc., and things you didn't have to pay on before, including, I think, insurance. All right? So they raised it and put so much taxes on you that it took back more than they gave you. If you have a boat, they took back more. If you have a car, everything has gone up. Groceries, everything has gone up. So raising minimum wage is disgraceful, and we're still having that conversation in the 21st century. We should not be having a conversation about raising minimum wage. Bahamians should have been empowered, and I'm still waiting for anyone, a PLP, anyone to call and tell me one thing, and I will shut up. One thing that the government has done to empower Bahamians. I ain't seen none yet, because giving them masks and free tests to empower me, because you don't have to require masks or tests. All right? The whole thing was a sham. Minimum wage does not empower people. No salary does. Hundreds of new officers recruited. We on the road. Again, they're trying to be cute. Hundreds of new officers recruited. A lot of officers left. A lot of officers quit. And every administration hires police officers. Every single one. This is nothing new and nothing to brag about. You're bragging about hiring police officers? Why are you hiring these police officers? What's the point of hiring more immigration officers if their hands are being tied as it relates to dealing with immigrants? I can pause right there with a story for you. You all know now about, I'll get back to this one that you're watching. You all know now about the 509 place that was raided recently. I'm sorry, but this is the copy they have uploaded, so sorry. So you know about this place that was raided, immigration went in there, and there were a lot of immigrants working. Most of them had work permits, because there's a work permit fire sale going on right now with the government. To get people in the country and keep them here, and then they're going to qualify for citizenship in short order. But all of you saw that where they were rounding them up. Now, there's something else that happened there, was that a man was on the phone who I guess is a manager or owner or whatever of that place. And he called someone purporting to be an immigration official on the phone, had them on speaker, and was talking. And this is according to persons who were there, and telling them to get these people out of there, and don't ever let them come back, is what he was saying to the official in his broken English. And the official could be heard on the phone telling them, "Don't worry, this will not happen again. We get this straight. But this is an outside thing. This ain't from this an outside thing, and we didn't know this was gonna happen. And so, but we could be straight. We could make sure they get straight. So in other words, they could let them go. And so he tried to get the officer in charge. I think her name is Eva Rule to talk, and I didn't talk to Eva Rule. So y'all don't what the PLP do. Fire her. She didn't give me this information. A patron who was there gave me this information. All right, and so and a Haitian who was there who hate the fact that she got her work permit the right way, and her work permit has on it who she is actually working for, and she's working for them. And so she was also a patron there, and another Bahamian patron called me. But Ava Roll told that man who was being very rude, I'm not talking to that person on the phone, one, and two, they lock up. All right? And he was getting rude. She said, listen, I'm a Bahamian. That's what the immigration officer said to that person. I'm a Bahamian. All right? And they lock up. And so I just want to commend that immigration officer for standing up. And we are told that those persons are going to be released back. That's the threat that was made, or the comfort or guarantee that was made over the phone to that person from the establishment. We'll see. The immigration officers are out there doing their job. They're trying to do their best. But of course, interference is being run. What's the point of hiring all these officers, defense force officers, if you're going to tell them don't deal with any boats out to sea, don't intercept them, if you're going to run interference on them? What's the point? We're not stupid anymore. We're not our grandparents' generation. We are awake. The next thing they said is affordable housing. Again, affordable housing. They built with 40 houses. Some of them they built in Pinecrest in the swamp. And they built it very unprofessionally where it looks good, but when trouble comes, we're going to see no columns, no bell costs, none of that stuff that normal houses have. We're going to see how that works out. All right. And they built it on the swamp and put plenty fill in there. All right. So, I mean, come on. But we'll see exactly what happens. Affordable housing. I just showed you housing all over Abaco that is just sitting there. And so that's an absolute fail. Look at those beautiful houses just sitting. All right. Let's continue. Oh, we missed that one. It said free Wi-Fi on the parks. That was an FNM initiative. Let me just take this phone call and then we'll continue. Good afternoon. You're live.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Bain. How are you doing today, sir?
I am awesome. Looking forward to you telling me about the one thing that the PLP government has done to empower Bahamians in the last 2 years. Please. I hope that's what you called me for.
Mr. Bain. Yeah, listen, I was calling you to say about that because, first of all, I can't even think of one thing that they have done that would empower Bahamians. Basically, what they've done is put themselves in a driver's position. That's what they've done. They have taken more from the Bahamas, from the Bahamians, than any other government. Okay? And I can't think of that's the problem. I can't tell you anything because they have not done anything. They have not done anything. You got the young people that are leaving because they have no incentive to stay. There's no future for them. Okay? And you were talking about immigration a few minutes ago about I'm from Luther from our
So I was talking about immigration and rounding up.
Yes, sir. You're talking about that a few seconds ago.
Yes.
But I want them to say something on that too. There were over 200 illegals rounded up in Harbor Island. 200. Out of the 200, they took only 17, and they probably let 17 go.
Wow.
Here's where the problem is. Here's where they rounded over 200 and only took 17. The immigrants are saying, this is allegedly, the immigrants are saying that they're paying the officers. And another thing too is you got Bahamians that don't even own land, don't even own a farm, don't even own a business, but are holding papers saying that this person worked for them. They're paying these Bahamians $100 to $200 a week to hold these status. This is illegal, and I told them that. Okay, but back to the original question, there's been no any empowerment. The Bahamas, 50 years, sir, we should have been much further ahead. Much further. Okay? They've raped and robbed us. And our Bahamian people need to wake up, because if they keep sleeping, they're not going to have a place to sleep pretty soon. And it's happening fast.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Bain.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate you because you're doing an awesome job, sir.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Good day.
All right. And so free Wi-Fi in the parks. Now, we offered you free Wi-Fi in your homes, and we dedicated to that. And so they put some Wi-Fi in some parks, and that's to placate you, to make sure that you stay in the situation that you're in, and they don't give you anything. We could have Wi-Fi in every single home in this country. It's just internet. All right? It doesn't cost. I'll leave that for another day. All right? But that's nothing. That's nothing. No accomplishment that actually started under the FNM. 22 labor agreements in 24 months. Labor agreements mean absolutely nothing. It's when they get what is agreed that works. And now you can see a lot of the unions are now up in arms, and they're angry because of what is happening. Labor agreements mean nothing. How many unions you'll hear, they say, oh, we was owed for 10 years, we didn't get our back pay, or we didn't get our overtime, or those were part of labor agreements. But then they didn't get what was agreed. Signing an agreement is one thing. All right? You always sign them. Getting what was agreed is a different story. But someone says, what good is having Wi-Fi without current? This is powerful. That is powerful. All right. But they have it on the park. But the electricity ain't on a lot of the times in your home or elsewhere. That's why we're going solar. Let's keep going. New Family Island airports. They're on the way. Now, I've been and seen some airports around the Family Islands. I don't know what they're talking about. I saw North Eleuthera. Which airports are completed? Someone help me with that. Which Family Island airports are completed? Because I see the state that Abaco is in. The Eleuthera airports are nothing to talk about. I don't see any airports completed in Cat Island. Which airports are they referring to? They might have done one or two. I don't remember that. I don't remember any. So are they lying here? I can't think of any Family Island airport. Maguana, their airport is a tree. Okay, yes, Exuma they might have done some work on Exuma. I don't know, but I don't know. All right, so no, the Nassau doesn't have a new airport. I don't know. Cat just got a golf cart to pull the bags from the plane. Okay, so I guess that's new. So, I can't say. All right. Historic investment in food security. Historic? When the food reach? It's been 2 years. That's how much seasons that is for season crops. And how much crops it is, it could have been grown already. 2 years? Nothing? You all had this egg program you all did. How long does it take for chickens to lay egg? 2 years? We believe you, Flamin. All right? And so this is a total lie and deception right here. So far, nothing. Bahamas, they won't brag, but the failed Bahamas games. Carifta. Okay, countries always have international tournaments. This is what you want. You want a pat on the shoulder for that? Bahamas games. That was anyway. Carifta and more sports. Boy. 242 to the world. Okay. Thousands of new jobs. Record low unemployment. thousands of new jobs. Let me say this. With unemployment, don't mind the stats that you see. They can manipulate the numbers because they have certain rules as to when they can count you as unemployed or not. If they talk to you and they ask you, well, have you been disappointed or given up looking for a job? And you say yes, they don't count you as unemployed anymore. All right, that's the rules. So if you stop looking or if you say, man, I tired looking or anything like that, then they don't count you anymore. That's if they count you. I haven't been called or approached by anyone asking me if they had a job. So where do these unemployment numbers come from? Where are they coming from? Are these real numbers or just like their polls? Who has received a call or someone knocking at their door asking if they're employed? I'll wait. Because I'm sure some of us have, but I'll wait. Anyone on here? Okay, we got 1,478 persons system-wide right now on all of the different platforms right now. So there's a poll, and that's a bigger poll than all the PLP and FNM alleged polls. Anyone been questioned about whether they're employed or not? Because I want to see where they get these numbers from. They say it's all-time low. It's in single digits for the first time. It's like they just put these numbers out there. Anyone? No one? No one? Say they call and hang up before anyone answer. No? No one? Like, okay, 1,478 of you. And not one of you have received a call or someone knock on your door and say, are you employed? So where? No one? Come on, man. Someone say yes. Even a troll, PLP troll, just say yes to make it look good. No one? Wow. So how can you all say record low unemployment? It's garbage. We're not impressed. All right? 1,000 new jobs. That's the other part of this. Listen very carefully. Listen, I see all the no's coming in. All right? So there's fake numbers that they use to make you think that they're doing a good job. 1,000 new jobs. Listen, if Bamboo Shack opens a new location in Carmichael Road, the government can't brag about new jobs. You didn't provide any jobs. That's some entrepreneur deciding that they're opening a business and hiring people. That's not to your credit. None of the government's policies are business friendly to be bragging about any new jobs. If an entrepreneur decides to take a risk, that's that entrepreneur deciding to take a risk. Business is very difficult to go in this country. I could go to America or Haiti right now and open a business the same day. The same day. And open up a bank account the same day. No stress. Here in the Bahamas, I just spoke to an expert a couple of days ago. They make this stuff so impossible. Go try open up a bank account in Nassau and then tell me the government policy is working, because the government could put things in place to restrict the banks on their actions and what they can and cannot do. They can, but they're not going to do it because they want it to be difficult for you to go into business. They are not doing anything to provide jobs or to encourage a good business atmosphere in this country. Nothing. All Chester them doing is selling out our crown land and selling out everything to any foreigner who won't come and take what is ours. Just shake their hand and, oh, we're doing a good job. Tourism is now at 8 million. There's nothing that you did that made tourism at 8 million. Y'all can't even, the hotel we own, y'all ain't do nothing with yet. The one opportunity y'all have to provide jobs, the hotel we own, that minute spend $60 million on and y'all spend $100 million a year on, y'all ain't doing nothing with that. How about y'all finish that hotel, fix it up, make some billions from that, and then brag that you provided some jobs? They think that we are forefathers' generation. That's foolishness. Let's keep going. Promoting the Bahamas to the world, fighting for us, the PM. So that's their big accomplishment, promoting the Bahamas to the world. What? By going to conferences that every leader goes to? Keep fighting for us, PM? How is he fighting for us? What has he done to fight for us? Nothing. You wouldn't even give us our carbon credits as ours. You wouldn't even let us benefit from our natural resources as ours. How are you fighting for us? What has he done? More changes to come. Their advisor told them to just keep saying the word change, and it'll impact something. And so Brave went to a conference. The latest one he went to was in Cuba. Latest conference he went to was in Cuba. Again, another dismal and disappointing and embarrassing one. I gotta let you hear this. I'm gonna be talking to this while it's playing, but this is Brave in Cuba, and basically what he is saying is that the OECD, etc., need to take their knee off our necks. No, you need to take your knee off our necks, because now even to use Amazon, we gotta pay VAT. These dudes ain't just vatting us to death and taxing us to death in the Bahamas. They reaching overseas to tax us, and they even legal. Amazon and Airbnb, these companies just agreeing to do it because it's the World Wide Web. They don't have to pay no taxes in a country where they don't have a physical presence. But they don't see a problem doing it because it won't hurt them. That's just extra money for them to put on their books and hold for a while before they send it over. That's more money to say they ran through their bank account so they could use it as a part of their portfolio. So now instead of taking in $10 billion, they can add this VAT and say, okay, we take in 10 billion.1, and it looks good on the books, but we're getting raped for it. But anyway, this is Brave talking this nonsense about them not being equal in black by black listing us, etc., etc. That's not the truth. We all know that we are a pirate republic. We all know that we're hiding money for criminals in this country. So the world knows that. Do you know how stupid it makes us sound when everyone knows that you go to the Bahamas when you do a bank robbery or do anything, or you do any scam, you go to the Bahamas and hide your money. Everyone knows that. But then our prime minister stand up and saying, oh, it's unfair treatment. They know what you guys do. In the New Bahamas, we're not going to be hiding money for anyone. We're going to be a respected nation. We don't need to do that. So we will not be on anyone's blacklist. But let you hear Brave, and I'll talk through this.
Before I close, I want to invite the G77 to support the movement afoot at the United Nations that supports the United Nations as a more inclusive and effective body for international tax cooperation and administration. The United Nations is the appropriate body to design and build a truly equitable and inclusive international tax administration architecture with equal-footed representation, an environment of one country, one vote. For too long, we have all lived in an environment where global tax policy was mandated and designed by the OECD, where concepts underpinning the current international tax system prefer the interests of the global north, that is, the OECD members and developed countries, at the expense of small developing countries, primarily black-governed former colonies in the global south, former colonies of those same members of the OECD. The arbitrary and discriminatory actions of the OECD and EU have disproportionately affected countries of the global south, already reeling from actions and impacts of countries from the global north. The climate crisis is largely created by the industrialized countries, many in the global north. The effect of the climate crisis is felt disproportionately by small developing countries like the Bahamas. This is exacerbated by the arbitrary blacklisting of these same vulnerable countries, such as the Bahamas, from the very same countries that are responsible.
Just a side note, he's talking to almost no one. Those chairs are very empty. All right, there's just a few people in there. If you look carefully, I can't put a cursor on there for you to see, but look at the bottom of your screen. Look at all of those rows. You can see a chair, but those chairs are empty. In the first 2 or 3 rows, there's some people in there. Then they got some people to just sit down so it don't look bad. But as usual, no one is there when he's talking as usual. He's normally talking to no one. They don't respect him. All right? And so I just want you to know that. So he's saying that they blacklist us because we're black. He's still going on with this old PLP thing where they used to play roots and all that and make it seem like that's why they're doing it. They're blacklisting us because we're black. No, they're blacklisting us because we hide dirty money. That's why they're blacklisting us. We've been doing that and we continue to do it. Let's continue.
For the climate crisis. For example, when it comes to insurance, these blacklists result in any remittances from European reinsurers on claims being automatically reduced by 25%. A significant percentage of the monies owed is cumulatively retained by the EU. We are thus poorer and less able to rebuild because of the effects of the climate crisis. We should demand equal treatment, and we so demand. We demand the UN to be the proper arbiter in tax matters. We could hardly breathe. And so we demand privileged multilateral organizations like the OECD to take your knee off the proverbial necks of countries like the Bahamas across the global south. So the way forward for the G77 is clear. It's a path paved with technology, driven by the ambitions and aspirations of our youth, and steered by the collective wisdom of our nations. The G77 also must take a stand in support of equality among countries, governance at appropriate forums such as the UN, an environment where developing countries in the global south have the same policy impact globally as developed countries of the global north. By championing their involvement and ensuring they are at the forefront of decision making, we are not just investing in our future, but ensuring.
Oh God. Okay. I'm sorry to put you through that for 4 minutes. I humbly apologize. It will happen again as they continue with their nonsense and embarrassing us internationally. We're blacklisted when we don't have policies in place that stops terrorists and criminals, etc., and tax evaders from other countries, when we don't stop them from hiding money in our country and we don't cooperate like we should. We all know that's what we do. See, it's one thing, if you're doing it, just say you're doing it, man. Don't make it seem like someone else is the fault for what you're doing. We don't have time for that. We need to move forward into the future. Let's get out of the 60s and 70s grave. It's time for a new generation. We're not interested in hiding nobody money. If you want to hide your money, put it under your mattress. Don't bring it to the Bahamas. Because we're going to make our own money. And we don't need to make money hiding money. It's time for us to benefit from our carbon credits, natural resources, so we don't have to hide money for nobody. And that will not be an industry for us moving forward. All right? We can invest monies for people, and we're going to go into the investment and trading, etc., for people. But in terms of hiding money for criminals, that one overbrave. Let that one go. So someone said to me that, oh, you have countries, states in America that has bearer shares, and they gave, which means they don't really disclose who's the shareholders and that kind of stuff, and they don't get blacklisted. Well, well, that's their choice. So Delaware, they gave an example of that, and they're aiming to have companies in Delaware, and so the difference though is that you can get bearer shares, which means you don't disclose who the owners are in Delaware. But when you go to any bank in America, they're going to force you to say who the owners are. You can't hide that. That's the difference. All right? They're going to force you to state that. So having bearer shares in Delaware doesn't give you that same effect. I heard Warren McCartney was now at IRCA make that statement before, that they have states in America that does that, but it doesn't benefit you, because anywhere you go in America to do any transaction, they have to know your customer, and the bearer share is useless. That bearer share only protects you from other people, all right, around, not government institutions, and it doesn't protect you from the banks, all right? But of course, you have to have international experience to know these kinds of stuff. But Brave, stop it. Stop it. Your days are numbered. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you that on October 4th, it's time to come out and stand up. Or you might just like what we've been going through. I don't. We need change. We need serious and real change. And we're having our convention, so we're going to encourage all of our members, please, pay up your dues, all right? Donate to your party. Donate to your party, pay up your dues, so that we can do what we have to do, all right? The only way this is going to happen is if you make this happen, all right? Just pay up your dues, all right? Pay up for the year, so that you can come and be a delegate, all right? Pay up for the year, so you can be a delegate at this convention. The convention is going to be powerful. It's going to be something to remember. We want you all to be a part of it. The morning session is only for delegates. It's a closed session. At that morning session, we're going to be voting on certain things. We're going to be installing our official leader, deputy leader, chairman, secretary general, all of those positions. So we want you to be there, be a part of it. And we're going to be ratifying our constitution, et cetera, and putting some things in place. We're also going to be installing our first permanent members. So make sure you paid up. Our first permanent members, persons who have been with us from the beginning, persons who have put in the work, they are going to be installed as our first permanent members. We'll announce what the name of that is going to be shortly. We won't announce it now. All right. PLP is called their permanent council members. They call them stalwart councilors. The FNM calls theirs MCMs, meritorious council members. All right. So we're looking forward to you. Pay up for a year. That's $60. We need you to be there, and we need you to donate. All right. You can pay your membership, which is $5 a month, but if you can, if it's an extra $50 a month that you can donate to the party to make this happen, an extra $100 a month that you can donate to the party. Some of you may say, okay, I'm going to give $500 a month. I'm going to give $1,000 a month to my party. I'm going to take a tithe, 10% of my salary, and give it to the party. Do that. We have to make this New Bahamas happen. Someone has to pay the price. Some of us have to be arrested, scandalized, lied on, victimized with our businesses and jobs. Some of us are going to pay in that way, but many of you don't have to pay in that way. You don't have to operate in that level, but you may be able to just fund us from on the outside. Maybe other things that you can contribute. If you see us having some event and you have something that you want to donate, you can do that. You may say, okay, I'm having a rally. I have speakers. I have a stage. I see you all traveling to the Family Islands. I'm on this island. I got some cars, some SDs. I'm going to give it to you for free. You can donate in many different ways. It could be cash, service, but you can contribute in different ways. All of us don't have to be contributing the same way. Every piece is a part of the puzzle, and every piece is important. And so, whether it's your $10 a week that you say, okay, I get my 260, I'm going to give my 10%, my $26 is going to go to the party, then that's up to you. All right. But whatever you have, every little counts to make this work. All right. That's what the PLPs do. That's what the FNMs do. They pretend to have money. But what the PLP has, to be honest with you, is credit. You haven't noticed that after every election, the PLP and FNM is always millions of dollars in debt. That's the T-shirt people they got T-shirts from and didn't pay. That's ZNS. They always owe ZNS a bunch of money. You know, the PLP had owed ZNS probably $1 million when Minnis was in there, and then he still let them televise their event. And that means credit. So it isn't the money they have. They always brag, oh, we got the money. No, it's a credit that they get. All right. And then they have corrupt money from persons they give contracts to, and they say, well, you got to give a certain amount to the party. All right, we're giving you that contract. That funds the party. Also, the yearly carnival. I don't support the carnival anymore, and you shouldn't support the carnival because the money from the carnival goes to the PLP. All right, you discovered that right after the election when the carnival came, and the guy was blocked from going forward, and he revealed that the PLP gets 50% of all the profits. So, and the carnival's prices have gone up. So when you do that over and the gambling, the PLP been benefiting from gambling. All right. At one point when the FNM was in power, they started benefiting from it. And so they've been benefiting from gambling. So they let you gamble because they was benefiting from it. Get it? They only do what they can benefit from. So when you do that over and under and you bet $10 and you lose it, $5 goes to the PLP, $5 goes to the carnival. Get it? That's how that works. So I don't support them anymore because that is supporting the old Bahamas. It's supporting the corruption. It's supporting them making all this money and not doing anything on our family. Our family islands are decrepit. And only when a contract goes on is when they could give it to some crony like the $17 million that went to what's his name? To this guy to do these roads. Ezra Russell. Because he's a crony of Philip Brave Davis. Look how you do this road. This is the corner. This is the corner. Look at that. That finishing up. Cars driving on there. See the car dirt on there? This is how he did the roads. $17 million. That's Ezra Russell. See here? They already had the patch roads that he just do. Because he did foolishness. Look. See? Big square patch in there. Do that over. Already had big pothole. This is the Bahamas we living in. Welcome to the Bahamas. The only country where the government provides swimming pools in front of your house. The only country where the government provides and ensures that every citizen almost has a swimming pool in front of their house. Look at that. Jesus. But they say, oh, the PLP doing a good job. Brave is nice. Let's keep it this way. We don't need to have nothing. Brave need that $800 something million this year and the total $156 billion that's going to be here in a year. The plane got to land so Brave could take off in the plane. This is my money. And I want mine now. I'm going on October 4th. Y'all coming or not? This is about our carbon credits. This is about the corruption and immigration. This is about firing the civil servant. This is about the high prices in BPL. Y'all coming? Or y'all gonna let the government know y'all satisfied? It's your choice. Whenever we stand up, they have to stand down. So let's come out there and let's tell them he was wrong. Firing that woman and don't bring that corrupt man here. Let me take the last call and I can be gone. Good afternoon, you're live.
I want to bring the attention of the people in the audience that are listening that gasoline in the Bahamas cannot be sold to the Bahamas unless people in government, and this is out that my information, my investigation here and abroad in the United States, was that the government, especially when the FNM government was in power, okay, you cannot do business in the Bahamas unless these officials get their cut. Otherwise, companies cannot sell to the Bahamas unless governments get their piece of the pie. And this is what's going on. They're selling the Bahamas cheap. Okay. And now I actually did the research on this, and this is what I found out about the gasoline. That's why the price does not go down or up, because it's controlled by those who get a piece of the pie. Shell and other companies sell the Bahamas. I mean, there's one man was in FNM that was us $1 million. He did not pay his bill, and it was to me. Okay, for gas that he purchased. Yes, sir. Anyway, I just want to bring that attention.
Thank you for your call, man.
That stuff, sir.
Thank you for your call. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. Some people are afraid of coming out because they may be victimized. Let me tell you something. If you don't stand up with this immigration stuff, your jobs are gone. I talked to several people this week who said they can't get a job. I talked to a contractor who said the Haitian contractors getting all the jobs, and they're hiring a bunch of Haitians, illegal Haitians, that's getting these work permits. It's disgusting what's happening. Well, I said, did you stand up? When we were calling people to deal with immigration, did you come? He said, no, and I regret that to this day. So, Mr. Bean, the next time you'll go, they come in. He said he didn't want to jeopardize, contracts and that kind of stuff. But he said, now I'm not getting no contracts. See, all I'm getting is a little job, the little small jobs here and there. So I said, you was afraid to jeopardize your contracts. So you didn't sign up when we fought for immigration. Now you're getting no contracts. He said, yeah, and that's exactly what you told us. That whatever we're trying to secure now, we will lose later. He said he lost all. He's getting nothing. He said the Haitian contractor is getting everything. Wow. Wow. You all awake yet? If you don't stand up for this BPL thing, you already victimized. If your light bill went from 2 something to 8 something, that's almost 3 times increase, $600 extra plus. Your light bill going up. In some instances, 500 to some people. You done victimize. If you was making $1,500 a month, 500 or 600 gone. If you making $260, how much you making a month? If you're making $260, how much you making a month? $1,040. You can't pay a $700-800 light bill and pay rent or mortgage and buy groceries and pay school fees. This country finish. We're in trouble. You are already being victimized. Stand up, Bahamas. Let's stand up and take this country back. You're already a victim. When your family and friends are dying in the hospital because they ain't got no blood, you're already a victim. People are sitting for days in accident emergency. They see nothing against the nurses and the staff. The government ain't providing it. Sitting down for days. One lady we just visited said her husband had bed sores from sitting down for days in A&E. He just had him sitting there. People sitting, sleeping, sitting down, waiting to get service, and later they find one gurney for them, one hard bed, one ambulance bed or something, and then they take forever to get them a bed up in a ward. Come on, Bahamas. You're already being victimized. What more you got to lose before you stand up? Stand with me. Let's make this thing right. Let's demand that this thing is right. People dying right now. People suffering and can't pay their bills right now. Stand with me, Bahamas. Just stand up one time and watch the results. Y'all gonna let Brave take $156 billion and talk stupidness about he is gonna pay off the country's debt? The same excuse Perry gave y'all? They don't even have to be original. They're even trying to be original with their lies. Perry told you, okay, we got to bring back because we got to pay off the debt. Everyone said, oh, the debt is bad. This debt is like $6 billion. Perry's right. We got to pay off this debt. Now the debt is twice that. Let's stand up, Bahamas. Don't be scared. I can stand in front. I can take all the bullets. Nothing to fear. Just stand with me as we stand for this nation. You are already being victimized. Your children can't find spots in schools. You're already being victimized. Foreigners are getting taxi plates. You're already being victimized. Foreigners are getting our crown land. You're already being victimized. Stand for something. Take the day off. You have plenty notice. October 4th. It's coming soon. Let's be ready. Let's stand up and tell them we are not satisfied with the light bill. We're not satisfied with the gas bill and the food bill. There's things that they can do. We're not satisfied with the sufferation. And let's get ready for change. Let's get ready for change. Last thing I can show you. Last thing. I was going to just skip over this, but I got to show you on this one. You got to see this. Let me see where that is. Lord, where it go? This last thing I can show you all before I go. My stuff go down. Just give me one sec. I can find it. Let me see. I had a picture pen ready for y'all to see. I wanted y'all to see what's really going on with y'all carbon credits and natural resources. I can save it for Tuesday. So I had it lined up. Yeah, I can save it for Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, the plain land, like the gentleman said, the politicians been taking all the money and keeping y'all as beggars and satisfied with that. The plain land. But your box ain't come. Your luggage ain't come. The Prime Minister and the FNM taking all the luggage. Everything belongs to them. I know if you want yours, but I want mine. We listen to no foolishness with Brave Davis, but we can't get none of this. Them PLPs who won't be fooled and love their party more than themselves, and more than their country, let them go do that. If you love this country, October 4th is for you. All Bahamians, black Bahamians, white Bahamians, Chinese Bahamians, whatever they are, all Bahamians. This one is for you. $156 billion. That's just a start. Now, they lied to you all these years. Pinland talk about the natural resources. Then Perry come back and say, natural resources. Ingram say, natural resources, until we prove them wrong by showing their signature giving away our natural resources. They lied to you. When I started talking the carbon credits, they say Lincoln selling dreams. Don't listen to him. Now listen to them. Nothing about their carbon credits, is in the blueprint for change. They swing you up. Y'all stand with me. They lied to you. I am giving you all the information, all the facts, and all the documentation. They lied to you. This is like when you have a bunch of siblings and the parent die, and one of the siblings is the executor, and the executor say, "Oh, mommy ain't leave nothing, child. She have one rundown house in the family yard, and I go there and look at it and see what's happening. But she ain't leave nothing. No one else could see nothing." And then the other brother say, "Man, I was with mommy when I know she was talking with this one bank account she had with $100,000 in this bank account. I was with her." Another one said, "Oh, listen to him, man. He lying to y'all. He selling dreams." No, I hear mommy talking about that. And I see it. She used to spend money from that. Yeah, well, it must be all gone. Money there. Don't listen to them. I go to Family Island, go on there, see the big mansion, mommy live there, and come back and say, "Man, that's one little shack." Take picture of an old shack and say, "This is what mommy lives." Child, I can sell that for $40,000. I can split that between the rest of us. Oh, no, they can't split it because mommy leaves some bills. She had some hospital bills. I'm sorry. We got to pay off mommy bills first. The executor get the account with the $1 million on it, and the acres and acres of property in Nassau and the Family Islands, and telling you ain't nothing there. Look the other way. Y'all ain't tired getting swing. Y'all better stand up. Not one of those accomplishments on that PLP video empowers Bahamians. That's going to continue. He told me he ain't letting y'all benefit. I told her before election. He told me that. He said he give it to a few people and then let them provide jobs. I guess he give it to him and his cronies, and he give it to the FNM and theirs to keep them silent and then let them provide jobs. Because that's all they're talking about is jobs. Anyway, enough for the day. You're going to need some good cooked food. I got someone who love me who cooking some food for me. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, stop getting swing. They say selling dreams while they're making you live a nightmare, and they live in your dream. Thank you all for tuning in. Love you all. Appreciate you all. I will continue to fight for all Bahamian people. All. But I just ask that you stand up and fight for yourselves. Stand up, man. It's time to fight. It's time to fight. October 4th a.m. is the time to face the sun, including time to fight. Ready? I ready. Everything freezing up. So I'll see you all next time. I mean, time to go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time.